Welcome to Love is Blind. What's up? What's up?
I could be finding my wife here.
Love is Blind. Is it? One of the most anticipated dating show is coming back with season 6 starting in less than 5 weeks, February to be precise. And some of us are still stuck in season 5, especially this trio. And lots of channels have done justice to this, but I just feel like they kind of keep missing the nail on the head in some situation, because I feel like out of these three, two people are really supposed to get smoked, but only one person is getting most of the smoke. And I just want to give my take on this. And if you don't know what Love is Blind is, Love is Blind is another measure low we got in the society as of 2020, because that's when this experiment started in a dating scenario where a bunch of single ladies and guys are brought together to date each other. Literally 15 guys, 15 ladies as of last season 5 were brought together to date each other. Then you find your person, then you engage that person without seeing that person in 10 days. And after you engage that person, then you're taken to Mexico for 1 week. And after that, you go back home and you plan a wedding. So the whole of this thing, from the dating to the marriage, is like a month. And when this show started, I was like, no way, this is real. I actually did not even know that this show was gonna go beyond season 1, because when I was watching this, I was like, okay, this makes no sense, because this is supposed to lead to marriage. And it's like, no, there's no way anyone will marry in this season and remain married. But as I'm speaking to you right now, there's some couples from these seasons that are still married. In fact, one of the couples even announced the arrival of a new child, the first Love is Blind child. And well, it's kind of working. But this show, as the show proceeds, there are less people getting married. I'm not sure about season 1, but because I was not really into the show then, but I think as of season 1, like 4 or 5 couples get married. But as of season 4, only 2 couples get married. Season 5, only 1 couple get married. So the fact that there's less and less couples getting married just says that this show is literally trash. And season 5, I was not even expecting anyone to get married. Like, I was shocked there's even a couple that was able to make it. But this show is really bizarre. And there's something about this show, when you watch the previous one, you'd be like, oh, this is the worst. Then you watch the next one, you're like, no, this is the worst. Then you watch the next one, you're like, oh my god, this is the worst of the worst. Like, it just keeps getting worse and worse with each season. So also, because of how short the dating span is in this show, there's this cast come up to me very desperate in trying to get their person, or like get a partner and remain on the show or get married. They do this thing where they're like trauma dumping.
I dated a lot of people with like addiction issues.
And I also get that they're doing this so that like they can start on a clean slate. And this is where our trio comes in. So this guy, his name is Uche. He's a lawyer, and he was 34 as of the time of filming season 5. And Uche comes off as this nerdy, someone who just goes straight to the point. He hit the nail on the head. He is arrogant. He's not like my favorite person, honestly. Like, he's not a bad person, but there's way he just handled things that I just do not agree with. Then we have Lydia. Lydia, she is a geologist. She was 32 as of filming of the season 5. And Lydia comes off as someone who is very desperate, someone who just wants to marry. She doesn't care true or crook. She just wants to be married.
Wondering always why, and here I am, being vulnerable, being completely transparent with you.
Then we have Alia. She's a nurse. She's an ICU nurse, and she's also 28 as of the time of the filming. And Alia, I really don't get to know like much of her personality, because most of the time she was on this show, she was just going through it. She's crying, reacting to a very shocking news, learning something new. So I really don't know much about her personality, but she comes up to me as someone who is very emotional and someone who is very, very soft. So moving on, Uche and Lydia used to date before they came to the show. In fact, they were together a few months before even coming to the show. And when I mean together, I mean sexually together. And coincidentally, they both happened to be in the show, which Uche claims that Lydia knew he was coming to the show. She was in his place a couple of months and she found that he was coming to the show. And Lydia did also said when she came to the show that she feels she's gonna meet someone from her past. And also during the reunion, Alia was kind of saying that people were saying that Lydia and Uche did plan to come to the show together. So honestly, Uche and Lydia being on the show is not coincidence. It's either Lydia knew Uche or saw Uche was coming to the show and decided to follow him. Because when Lydia met Uche, because he was the first person she met on the pods, when she realized it was Uche, she wanted them to like give their relationship a start, like to start on a clean state, to get to know each other all over again. But Uche was like, no, that wouldn't be genuine.
Like, cut the crap. You want to start at zero? A blessing in disguise?
I don't think we can do that because that kind of it ruins the experiment. Yeah.
So you don't think it's even worth it to even get to know each other more?
I don't think it's like genuine from the experience because we already know what each other.
So fast forward, Alia and Uche ended up becoming a match. And Uche didn't give Alia a very easy time. It was kind of like he is very judgmental. That's what I was getting from him, because there's this part that stood out to me where they were like getting to know themselves better, and he asked her if she has cheated before, and she said yes. And the way he responded was way too harsh.
Boy, you're a recent cheater.
And meanwhile, back in the girls' quarters, Lydia and Alia were very close, because anytime Lydia gets rejected by a guy, Alia is there to comfort her. And also, anytime Alia was going through it with Uche, Lydia is there telling her, I feel like we're the same person, he doesn't deserve you, he is not good enough for you, all those kind of things.
I love you, baby. I love you more. And I don't want to say this. You're so like me that I could see this happening. Look at me. He does not get to judge you.
And you would think that with this sisterhood going on between Lydia and Alia, she will tell her that she and Uche used to be together. They used to date. They were actually even together recently. But then in their defense, the producers of the show were the one that asked them not to tell anyone about them knowing themselves outside of the pod. Along the dating situation, Uche began to like Alia. I kind of see a real connection. I feel like he was trying to be like this tough guy, uptight, but then he was falling for Alia. She's sweet. She's like super sweet. I kind of feel like she's kind of genuine. And then he told her about him and Lydia being together, and she did not take that well.
Is a girl that I have dated in the past. It's Lydia.
Actually, the way Lydia was comforting her, I don't know, from the very beginning, even before I knew this information, it just comes off to me very gimmicky and fake. I just don't know. There's something about Lydia that comes off fake. I don't know. Is it the accent? And I'm not shaming her because of the accent, because I also do have accent. But like, she just be doing way too much. Like, you'll be side eyeing her. Like, is this really genuine? Like, is this genuine? So after like Uche told Alia this, I mean, she didn't take it well, but later, like, she kind of like was processing it, and she's like, oh, I love you. I love Lydia too. She's like my sister. We're gonna get through this. Everything was fine. But then when she went to Lydia and talked to Lydia, I just didn't like how Lydia responded to that.
He is OCD. Oh, his house is dope. Yeah. Time we saw each other best back in January, right? This year. And we slept together.
It was like she was doing it intentionally to piss off Alia. To me, it seems like that. And then there was a clip that was posted in the reunion where Alia was very happy, telling her that Uche loves her, he's a person, and you can literally tell that Lydia was not happy about that.
He's so perfect for me. He told me he can't see the future without me. Wow, I said that.
And it comes out to me like Lydia was going to be there for Alia, comforting her as long as she was going in some kind of situations, those kind of problems and issue with Uche. That's when she's gonna be there like, yeah, I got you, girl. He doesn't deserve you. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You are like me. But when everything is going fine for them, she's gonna be like, oh no, she's not happy about that. After this whole situation, Alia did not continue with the experiment. She left. And I feel like she did the right thing to leave, because this is not just Uche and Lydia lying to her, the producers too. I feel like she was done dirty on this show. And when she left, she and Uche decided to like give it a try outside. And it came out that Uche is literally a douchebag, because Uche is a colorist. He didn't find Alia attractive. And I was like, oh my God, when is this girl going to rest? Like, she went through a lot in the pod. Imagine like what she went through when there was no cameras. So fast forward to the reunion. So the reunion is actually like, a reunion is always done after a show so that everyone is given a chance to clear up the air and to get closure. But then in the reunion, I just feel like the whole blame was shifted on Uche. Like, Lydia was being protected by, of course, her husband, who was 24. Let's not even get into that. And also by the presenters of the show. And I feel like they didn't even give Alia the closure she deserved. Like, they were not really, like, she wasn't a priority on this reunion. Let me just put it like that. It just did not make sense. And I feel like Lydia deserved as much hate as Uche was getting, because it now turned out that Uche was just a bad person. Uche is the this, he's the that. But Lydia is also not a saint. And I know, like, yeah, she's married now, and each question being asked, she's gonna be like, I mean the best for you. Like, it was so fake. It was so fake, but I don't know. And Milton is like, I know my wife. That's Lydia's husband. I know my wife, and I want to tell that she is a good person. I just feel like this show, this season, was not being fair to Alia. Like, she didn't get the fairness she deserved, and the apology she's supposed to get, she didn't even get from any side. Like, I expected, like, I don't know, maybe before the reunion the producers like did apologize and stuff like that, but it didn't seem like that on the reunion. Rather, like, people are trying to like explain. Like, this show is a lot, and I'm kind of looking forward to season 6, because the drama is just so funny, and not funny at the same time, because it's real, but then it's crazy. Anyways, if you did reach the end of this video, I really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so that you know when I drop another video. Have an amazing day.